Example 4. Find the following limit using factorization. For question A, limit function x squared minus 1 over x minus 1 when x approaching 1. Okay, this is question of limit for question A. So step number 1 here, substitute value x approaching 2. For function limit x squared minus 1 over x minus 1 when x approaching 1. Now we can see x here approaching 1. So that means we can substitute x equal to 1 inside the function of variable x. So we get 1 square minus 1 over 1 minus 1. So we get value here 0 over 0. This form not equal to 0, but we call it indeterminate form or IDF. Because we get IDF form or indeterminate form, that's why we need to continue step number 2. Step number 2 here, factorize function and cancel out a common factor. For function limit here, we need to factorize x squared minus 1, so we get x minus 1 multiply x plus 1 over x minus 1, x approaches 1. Now we can see we have a common factor. Common factor here, x minus 1, x minus 1. So we must cancel out a common factor from the function. Cancel out. We must cancel out. After that, the remaining function, in the step number 3 here, rewrite the remaining function. So, the remaining function here is limit x plus 1 over 1 x approaching 1. And then we can substitute value x approaching 2. Value x approaching 2 here, 1. So, 1 plus 1 over 1. So, the final answer we get 2. Example 4. Find the following limit factorization for question B. Limit function 4 minus x squared over 2 minus x when x approaching 2. Okay, this is question B, example 4b. For step number 1, substitute value x approaching 2. So we can see x approaching 2 here, x approaching 2. So that means we can substitute 2 inside the variable x. 4 minus 2 power of 2 over 2 minus 2. So we get here 0 over 0. 0 over 0 here, it is indeterminate form or IDF. That's why we get IDF form. That's why we need to continue step number 2. Step number 2 here, factorize function and cancel out a common factor. So we need to factorize 4 minus x squared. So we get 2 minus x, 2 plus x over 2 minus x, x approaching 2. By the way, we can see we have a common factor, 2 minus x, 2 minus x. So we must eliminate or we must cancel out a common factor from the function. And step number 3. Step number 3 here, rewrite the remaining function and substitute value x approaching 2. So the remaining function here is limit 2 plus x over 1 x approaching 2. And then we can substitute value x approaching 2. Value x approaching 2 is x equal 2. So we get 2 plus 2 over 1. So final answer for this question is